Hello. What you're going to need today are just a couple of blocks, your blankets, and a belt. And we will begin in Adho Mukha Virasana. So the big toes are together, the knees are apart. And see that your head is resting on something, be it the floor or a block or blankets. If you happen to wear glasses, just take them off and rest your forehead. Let your breathing begin to neutralize. Feel how the breath affects the rib cage, both in the front, the sides, and the back. And keep the elbows lifted up off the floor. And the arms in, we'll say, just a neutral position where they're not reaching out and forward so much, nor are you really trying to bring the shoulders back and down away from the ears. Just a neutral position for the arms. And you just let the rib cage settle onto your thighs. Taking a few nice, slow breaths. And then inhale, lift your head, and you can come back. And we'll take downward facing dog, Adho Mukha Svanasana, with head support. So this is going to vary for everybody. What you do is you start with what you think you might need. I have 2 blankets here, and those blankets are going to go underneath my abdomen here. And you get your hands and your legs into your typical position with straight arms, nice straight elbows. You go ahead and bring your head down. Now, if that doesn't work, you can walk in a little bit with your feet. If it's too high, actually, you would walk in with your feet. If you can't reach your blankets, what you might do is elongate your pose a little bit more by walking your feet back. But what you don't want to do is to strain or to bend your elbows. You can always get more height if you need, and if it just doesn't work out, just do a regular downward dog. And then you can walk forward to Uttanasana. And I'm going to leave this here, and I'm going to add a couple of things. Let's see, maybe that'll work. So add what you need in order to get your head supported, okay? That might mean going and getting a chair or something, or the couch or something like that. And if it just doesn't work, if the hamstrings are not cooperating with that, or for whatever reason, you just do a regular Uttanasana. But the head support is quite nice for helping to calm the brain, the overactive brain. And I have the crown of my head down here. If you're using a chair, if the legs are a little bit tighter, you may end up with the forehead resting, and that's fine too. Just keep contact with your inhalations and your exhalations. And then you can inhale, lift your head, and you can either come up straight legs or bent legs like I did. Okay, Prasarita Padottanasana, also with head support. So some of you can get your head to the floor. Some of you need a block. You take your legs wide. Okay, roll the shoulders back to lift the chest up. Take a nice deep inhalation and exhale, come forward. And you can pause here in this concave back position with the arms straight. You lengthen the head and the chest forward. You see that the legs are engaged. Take another inhale, exhale, come down. You can insert a blanket or blocks as needed. And just keep your mind on your breath and on the stability of the pose. Feel how the breath moves through you. Feel how it affects all the different parts. So you could, for a couple of breaths, breathe into your feet. You could breathe into the lower back. Relax the facial muscles. Relax your eyes and your tongue. And at this point, I'm going to come up for 1 sec. At this point, you can switch, and if you practice headstand, go ahead and do headstand, either in the middle or by a wall, however you do it. If you're not practicing headstand, I'm not practicing headstand today, what I'm doing is taking the headstand position with my fingers interlaced, my elbows on the floor. Of course, that's not going to work if you have your head on a block, so you would have to make a platform of blankets. Okay, so Prasarita Padottanasana like this, with the hands interlaced, or Shirshasana. See that the arms are working. The arms are not just in the position, so you want a decent amount of weight in the forearms and in the pinkies, the wrists, so that the neck does not feel too tense, too squished, especially in Shirshasana. And whatever asana you're in, you try to disperse the energy evenly throughout the body, evenly with each breath, and attempting to not let the mind run away with either just random thoughts or get stuck too much in one area in the body. So spread your attention out in order to go further inward. And then you can inhale and either come up or come down, whatever position you were in. If you're coming out of Shirshasana, please rest in child's pose for a moment with your head down. If you're coming out of Prasarita Padottanasana, you can just walk your feet into an Uttanasana position. Take a couple breaths. Come up just halfway, and then come up the rest of your way. All right. So you're going to take take the support that you need for some seated forward bends. So I'm going to just make an extra little pad here for myself, knowing that Janu Shirshasana is coming and that my foot usually hurts when I do Janu Shirshasana if it presses into the floor. Okay, so if you need more support, you sit up on more height. You can also have a block or two nearby. And we're not doing Janu Shirshasana yet, that's coming. Paschimottanasana with head support for a decent length of time. Okay, we're certainly not staying the whole 5 minutes. You would think the video had stopped if we stayed 5 minutes. So I have this here. I'm starting on the tall height, and I roll the shoulders back, and I'm coming forward, and I take my feet, and again, if you can't reach all the way this way, you might rest your head on a chair or something. The forehead is down, and I hold the feet. Now, see how the forehead is contacting your support, and see that the skin on your forehead is not being lifted up into a surprised position. See that the skin is just gently moving down toward the bridge of the nose. And let that awareness spread. So sometimes we're very particular about the actions in a pose, or we work with a specific part. The last video I sent about the hips and the groins and the standing poses, I don't think I mentioned shoulder blades once. And then other practices, all about opening the chest. For today, what I'm working with is just this evenness, this spreading out, not paying too much attention to any one part, but rather experiencing the whole. And as you're here for a little bit, you may notice that the body opens. You may not. It may start to tense up. That does happen sometimes. But you may feel that the body opens up a little bit, and I don't quite need that high block. Yet this is a little too low, so I'm going to go kind of in between. You may do with what you have. And just keep paying attention to the breath. And then you can inhale, lift your head and chest, and come on up. And I'm not even going to bother putting my glasses back on because I don't really have to see anything. It's not like I'm looking at you guys. You're looking at me. Okay, Janu Shirshasana, as I said, Janu Shirshasana is coming. So pick a leg, fold it back, and you can just work the hip a little bit here. I did a couple of very long walks today, so my hips are a little tired. So you can take your time getting there. And maybe what I'll do, I'm liking this head support, so what I'll do is I'll do that here once again. And you can feel free to move a little bit. Seeing what the body's tendency is in the pose. Maybe rotating the rib cage a little bit. See how that affects in the sacrum and in the lower back. See how a deeper breath might affect the chest. And then inhale, come up into your other side. Okay, you can get in there and release that hip a little bit. Okay, of course, if you need to sit on height, by now you should all know that. You should all be doing that. And then I come forward. And just become aware of what happens to you in particular types of poses. What happens in forward bends? What happens when you're doing back bends? Overall. Keep working with your breath. And then inhale, come up. Okay. So you're going to fold this first leg back. I think I'm going to use a little extra for this. Okay. If this doesn't work for you, skip it or do Janu Shirshasana again. Okay, and come forward. This pose, I know the classic pose is holding the foot, but I really like keeping my hands on the floor. It keeps things a little bit more even. Couple more breaths. And then inhale, come up to the other side. Come out carefully, okay, so you're not hurting your knee. And place the blanket on the other side if you're using. Okay, fold the leg back into Virasana. I'm coming off my blanket for some reason. Okay, take your support and come forward. And again, see that the skin on the forehead is just gently moving toward the nose. Release your jaw. No tension in the face at all. And just let go of the struggle. Right? If there's always a striving, always a struggle in asana, we never get to enjoy. So whatever pose you're doing, whether it's this one or if your knee and ankle really don't get along with this pose, you're doing another one, just enjoy it. Let it be just an expression of yourself. Inhale and come up. Rather than thinking, my leg needs to get more straight or my toes need to be more spread, or all of these things that we somehow carry with us into our yoga practice. I do it too, it's like striving for perfection, and we never really get there. So, it's not that we want to be lazy about it, like, that's good enough, but just enjoying, right? Okay, I am coming into Upavishta Konasana, and the block is getting a little hard for my forehead. I'm wondering if I have like a red square in my head now. I guess I'll find out when I watch the video. You take your legs wide, and if you need to stay up here, you can, or on a chair or something, resting the forehead. I'm thinking to myself, that's a little ambitious there. Maybe I'll try that. Okay, and I'm gonna just walk forward. Upavishta Konasana. And I'm going to rest my forearms on the floor. That's feeling good for today. Some of you go further. Your head is on the floor. That's fine. Some of you like to hold your toes or your ankles. Okay, or you can keep your arms out like this. And just hopefully find that quiet place. Relax the diaphragm, so you're not gripping in the front body at all. And then on your next inhalation, you can lift your head and push yourself up. And go ahead and cross your legs now into Sukhasana. Should feel good doing that after extending, especially in the back of the knees. And I'm going to come forward again. My arms are just relaxed here, but I am reaching my chest forward. And come on up. And you're going to switch your legs. Come forward once again. So there's nothing to achieve. Okay, this practice is not about ambition. There may be fun, exciting things sometimes in your practice. Inhale, come up, and that's wonderful. But this going inward is much more important, as far as I'm concerned, than being able to do a backflip. Backflips are cool, but being able to have a grip on, at least try to have a little bit of a grip as to how to calm your own mind and how to center yourself is a much more needed skill in this world than doing backflips. Okay, so what you're gonna do is lie on your back. And go this way. Come down, lie on your back. just get flat. Get flat for a moment. You probably, after doing forward bends, which is all we did thus far, you probably feel something in the front body between the bottom ribs and the pubic bone, because we've been in a flexed position there. So let all of that sort of open up. And then take your arms out to the sides. You can bend your legs, bring your knees in toward your chest. And now bring the knees over to one side and take the hand on that side and help the knees down a little bit. Do your best to keep the opposite shoulder down. Maintain your smooth and even breathing to help to create a smooth and even mind. And then use that hand to help push your legs up. And you'll do the other side. Bring the legs in and come over. And work with settling in on your exhalations. And by settling in, I mean just letting go of, there's tension in the body. There's really always some amount of tension in the body. But as you exhale, you may notice the side that's stretching. It wants to almost go against that. It wants to grip and say, oh, I don't want to relax. Right, as you exhale, consciously let go in the musculature there on that side or anywhere else you might feel it. And then you can push your legs up again. We'll do first side again. Over to the side. If you'd like to turn your head the opposite direction of your knees, you can do that to get a little neck stretch. And then last time over to the other side. And then whichever side your knees are on, just keep them there and roll your body over to that side. And you can push yourself up. And let's take your blocks, and you're going to put the blocks, I hope you can see this, put the blocks like this. We've done this before many times. I have a tall block for my head. I have a medium height block for my shoulder blades to rest on. Once you get your head placed, you can adjust your shoulder blades, you see, one at a time. I'm tucking them. Keep the legs bent for a moment. Okay, let the arms rest to the sides. Shoulders should be feeling open here. The pecs should be feeling open, not scrunched up toward your head. So keep your legs bent. Get used to this fairly back-bendy position. See that the lower back is relaxed. Again, the throat is relaxed, the eyes relaxed, the jaw, the forehead. and then go from this bent leg position to a straight leg position. Try that out, see if it works. And your legs are just relaxed. You're not trying to hold them in a Tadasana position, more like Shavasana. Feel how you can release underneath the ribs here in the breathing diaphragm. And then to come out of this, you don't want to roll to the side. You're just going to take your hands, push them down into the floor, and push your way up. And take these blocks. And lie on your back. And you're going to put the blocks on the medium height, both together, underneath the sacrum. Okay, not on your lumbar spine at all, it's underneath the sacrum tailbone. And just be here. If you need to be on flat blocks, that's fine. See that your legs are in a position, that the feet are in a position where the knees can be comfortable. And you're not looking to overly back bend here. We're just looking to open up the front body after doing forward extensions. Taking a few breaths. And you can inhale. Engage the buttocks, okay? So I lifted my buttocks up. I still have the feet pressing down. The blocks are now out. I engage the buttocks, which helps to neutralize the lower back. And then I untuck my shoulders and I roll down from the top of the spine down to the bottom. Okay, just let everything settle there. And one leg at a time. We straighten the legs. And if you want to sort of wedge yourself a little bit, you see how I pull on the mat? That helps to open up the lower back. Straighten out the legs and take Shavasana. If you want a blanket underneath your knees, you can do that. Or a blanket under your head. So lengthen the back of the neck. See that the skin on the back body is moving, at least up by the shoulders, moving down toward the heels, down toward the waist. Put your arms in a comfortable position. For some of us, that means having the hands on the belly or having the palms down. It's not against the law to have your palms down in Shavasana. If it's a struggle to keep your palms up and you're just going to be constantly striving to keep your palms up because people told you that's the way it's supposed to be, we kind of have to let that go. What we don't want to happen is a real collapse in the chest. Okay, and that's where having the palms up can definitely help. Put your legs in a comfortable position. They can be as wide or as narrow as suits you today. And just take a deeper inhale, more full, a little bit more noisy exhalation. real letting go with your exhale. Can even be through the mouth. And you can do that more intense exhalation a few times just to let go of excess tension. And then when you're ready, you let the breath come to a neutral place. Or the breath finds its neutral place, really. And with your eyes closed, just let go of your sense of vision. It's just not important right now. And with the eyes closed, the ears become so much more important. So let the ears, in a way, open up. And just let whatever ambient sounds you have in your home right now or wherever you are, just let them come to you. The sound of my voice, the ambient sounds on this video. You're not striving to hear anything or to even listen to anything. Just let the ears be open. Imagine that the tongue could deflate. So at this moment, there's no need for speech. There's no need for the sense of taste. Just as there's no need for the sense of vision. Experience the temperature of the air on your skin. The feeling of the different fabrics, whatever you have on the skin. And allow the skin to become more aware. And then just start to take deeper inhalations. Just gently. And move your fingers and toes. You can move your ankles and wrists if you'd like. A couple of times you can turn your head to loosen the neck. And then one leg at a time, bend your legs. And you can lift the pelvis up a little bit. Sometimes that feels good after laying on a hard surface. You lift the pelvis up, especially if you were laying flat. Just pause with your feet on the floor. And take another deeper inhalation and exhalation. And just barely open your eyes. Just barely. Let a little bit of light in. And then you can just bring your knees in toward your chest and roll over to your side. Take a pause. And then using your hands, come up slowly. And you can fully open your eyes. Okay, I hope you guys have a good day. I think it's May 21st today. Have a good day. Well, you'll probably watch this tomorrow or something, maybe another day. And I hope everybody is well. Namaste.